Well, I made it to Arkansas. I'm currently at the Richland Creek Wilderness area. I'm gonna find a spot to camp here. I think this spot will work. And I'm gonna get camp set up. Today, pretty much just drove over here. Just driving on the highway, nothing crazy. It's Monday currently. I'm looking at spending 3 or 4 days over here, maybe a little longer. About 6:30 now, so I'm gonna get camp set up and I'll check back in with you. Well, I got camp set up. It's just my Ozark Trail Walmart tent. This trip, as you can see, I'm in the Jetta. So, wanted to do a little budget trip. And the Jetta is definitely a lot cheaper to drive. I think I used like half a tank to get here from Oklahoma. The Jeep, I probably would have used 2 or 3 tanks pulling the trailer and stuff. So the goal of this trip is gonna be to plan out a route that anyone could come over here in basically any vehicle and still go see some of these waterfalls, hike some of these trails, some scenic lookouts, just stuff like that. Got a kind of an idea of the route. Just gonna kind of make it as I go. It may be mostly blacktop. It may be a couple of forest roads that aren't too crazy. But everyone comes over here and overlands in a big rig, which is awesome. And you can definitely get to better places that way. But that shouldn't discourage the people that have just any vehicle from coming over here. There is a lot to see here in the Ozarks. So that's my plan for this week. To make a trip that anyone could come see. But thanks for joining me. It's gonna be a pretty simple trip. Today, the sun's already setting. I'll probably do something very simple for supper. I'm not really hungry. I ate some McDonald's on the way, so I got my chicken nuggies, I'm good. But I'm gonna hang out around camp. There's already quite a bit of bugs, and I bought a thermocell, which I've never used one before. So I'm gonna give it a try and see what it does. I don't know who built this table, but it's not for adults or even humans possibly. It's tiny. I can't fit. I didn't read the instructions. I assume this is pretty self-explanatory. That screws in. Got a pad there with probably some toxic stuff I just touched. I guess we'll let that run and see what it does. But anyways, you can see, got the camp set up. Got a Walmart sleeping bag, sleeping pad. I don't think it's from Walmart, but it's one like you can get at Walmart. And a blanket and some pillows from home. Got a simple camp stove, a cooler with actual ice in it, not the fridge that I normally have. Just simple stuff. So if you're interested in this route, I will put a link to everything. It's gonna be a short trip, a short route. Something you can do on like a 3-day weekend. If you're off Friday, you can come over here on, say, Thursday night, set up camp, start, go explore Friday, Saturday, and then go home Sunday or something. Or split it up into sections. But I wanted to share some of the Ozark, some of the awesome sites that I've found along the way. So I'll share some of my research with those that want to come over here. By no means will I be sharing every single point, and if you see something and you're like, man, you drove right past this and it would have been really cool, maybe I know about it, maybe I don't. But if I share all the cool stuff from the Ozarks, there'll be nothing for you to come find on your own. But I'm gonna sit around here, enjoy camp a little bit, and just relax. 7 hours, 6-hour drive, something like that over here. Pretty tired. For supper tonight, I'm keeping it simple. Got some bread and some ham. My stomach's been kind of tore up the last week or so don't want to overdo it. I do have mustard I might dig out, but I forgot to get any chips. So if I swing by a store at some point, I might grab some chips. I got a couple different kinds of lunch meat, but simple tonight. I'm just hanging out watching Alone on my phone. Perks of downloading Netflix before you leave. I don't need service, and I can still watch something while I relax. There is a waterfall here. It's about a 2-mile hike, I think, to it. I think there's like a couple over there actually. But you do cross the water a couple times, and I just don't know if I'm up for it. I might do it in the morning, I might not. But if y'all come here to camp, you should check that out. But I'm gonna make me a sandwich and watch some Alone. Well, I've got camp packed up. It's about 8:30. It's a little earlier than I planned, but last night was nice. I think it only got down to like 60 degrees. There was a pretty good breeze all night, sometimes even windy. So I slept great. Got up, ate a banana, some granola bars for breakfast, and I'm ready to hit the trail and see what I find today. Like I said, I'm planning on this trip to be short drives, scenic. So I'm gonna take my time and see where I end up today. The birds are amazing. Definitely don't hear this back home. But the campground was nice. I only had 2 other campers. They were at the other end. I camped down here. That way I could film, be away from everyone. Didn't do a fire or nothing. just kind of relax. Tonight, if I get into camp early, I'll have a fire and all that, in theory, anyways. But I'm gonna hit this road, see what I can find, and check back in with y'all. Driving down the road here, and this is an excellent campsite just off the side of the road, right here next to the river. Got some rapids. It's like a swimming hole. This would definitely be worth camping at. I've been down this road several times, and I never knew that there was a waterfall right off the side of it here. Is this cool or what? This is why I love Arkansas. Who says a car can't take you to some epic places? Well, I made it here to Pedestal Rocks. I'm gonna hike down, either do the Pedestal Rocks Trail or the King's Bluff Trail. Probably the King's Bluff, because I don't think I've done that one before. But let's see what we can find. It's a little muddy here at the beginning of the trail. As you can see, there's kind of two loops, the Pedestal Rocks loop, the King's Bluff loop. I'm pretty sure I did Pedestal Rocks last time. So, I think let's do the King's Bluff this time. Got my hiker attire here, t-shirt and jeans. But it works. Actually, probably should have put some shorts on. So far, the trail's been basically downhill and easy. Got a little technical right there, at least tighter than it was. But that just means I'm getting closer to greatness. This will be a good test of how well the stabilization works on this. It's got to be better than my last videos. I had no stabilization on that camera. I guess this would be a good place to bring those kids you don't like. Oh wow. The trail was pretty boring up until this point. hiked the Kings Bluff Trail at Pedestal Rocks. I didn't do the Pedestal Rock side because I've done it before. It's about 1 o'clock, so I've spent about 2 hours here. So would have probably spent another hour or two if I would have hiked the other part. But I'm gonna head on towards Hall Creek. It's probably where I'm gonna stay tonight. And there's a couple waterfalls in the area I want to check out. There is an option from this point to go north to Alum Cove, but I think I'm gonna pass that up for today. I don't want to get too rushed and then end up at camp late. I'd rather be able to take my time and enjoy the trip. But let's see what else we find. Right here off the side of the highway is Pam's Grotto. And if you didn't know it was there, you'd pass it right on by. But let's go see if the water's flowing. This is my favorite waterfall. Starts off uphill from the road, and it is a decent hill, especially for fat people. Look at that big old pine tree. Thing's forever tall. I don't think the camera does it justice on just how tall that is. Made it to the last part. Now I gotta climb down this to get there. I don't know if it looks that steep, but it is. And that's what you got to climb through to get here. Up this hill. I wouldn't call it an easy hike, but it's short enough to not be a hard one, but it's worth it. When you see those rocks like that are layered, doesn't it make you think of flaky biscuits? It does me. I made it here to Hall Creek. It's just down the road from Pam's Grotto. This is going to be home for tonight. There's also some waterfalls here I'll explore either tonight or in the morning. I've got a pretty bad headache. I am definitely dehydrated. So I'm going to try to force myself to get some food, some electrolytes, and some water in me. But this will be camp for tonight. I think it's supposed to rain tonight or in the morning and then like all day tomorrow. So I'll probably set up a tarp and stuff a little more than my normal camp. But let's go see if we can find somewhere to camp. Man, waterfall is flowing good today. In the morning I might hike up to Pack Rat Falls. It's somewhere around here. But right now I just ain't feeling it. Got a headache. I'm way dehydrated. Did a lot more today than I should have. But I got camp set up, just hanging out, relaxing, trying to get some fluids in me. Way I'm not out of commission tomorrow. It's supposed to rain tonight, so I got tarp set up over the tent. But so far it's peaceful. Listening to the water, it's definitely nice. Not feeling like a big meal tonight, so got a headache. But I figure I need to eat something. So I'm gonna try something new here. I've never had peanut butter and jelly. Yeah, I know. I've had peanut butter sandwiches, and I enjoy peanut butter sandwiches, but I don't know if I like peanut butter and jelly. And this is probably a horrible representation of peanut butter and jelly, but it's cheap, and it's easy. I didn't want to carry peanut butter and jelly, so I bought a jar of both. Be nice if I had a knife, like a butter knife, but let's give this yucky looking stuff a chance. Here goes. First peanut butter and jelly sandwich. It's freaking delicious. How have I never tried that before? I'm just hanging out, listening to all the sounds. Pretty peaceful tonight. Just listen to the update on the weather radio. It does look like it's gonna rain, possibly even storm in the morning. So maybe in for an interesting night. Well, I got everything packed up just in time. It started to rain pretty good. It did sprinkle a little bit on me this morning, but not heavy rain. But as soon as I got packed up, it rained pretty good for a little bit. But I'm gonna hit the trail, see what I get into today. Definitely sore today from the hiking yesterday, so I may not hike as much, but I do plan on hitting up a few things at least. I may end up driving more if I get bored. I may find some roads and drive them, but we'll see what happens. Leaving camp about 8 o'clock, so earlier than planned, but trying to beat the rain. Well, the next thing on my map is the Arkansas Sphinx. I'm not gonna hike it today because it's a hike. It's a short hike, but it's like straight up, at least to me. But I did it a couple years ago on my last trip. It's worth doing. It's pretty neat. Off the side of the road here, you'll see the marker and the trail. But like I said, you basically go straight up this. And the fog line's pretty low today, so I imagine it's foggy up there, so the views wouldn't be good anyways. But I wanted to include it in the video in case somebody else does want to go do it. under a flash flood warning, and even these roads have water standing on them. So it's definitely going to be a wet day. So I'm going to have to try to find a camp spot that's elevated enough that I don't drown. Hopefully these roads don't get too muddy for the car. I'm trying to stick to county roads, that way I don't have to worry about it. But it is coming down. Probably not doing much hiking today. But still fun. Well, I made it through that patch of rain. It was pouring. But so far the road's been okay. Definitely got a little bit of rain. Well, it looks like they're putting a new bridge in here or something. Kind of disappointed, not gonna lie. I like this old bridge. So it's been raining, but I got me a shelter set up. I took a tarp, some paracord, and some poles. You know those canopy things that pop up that always break in the wind? Well, there was one by the trash. I took it apart so it would all fit in the trash, and now I have poles to use for this. Now I have a dry spot to set out of the rain and set my tent up, which I'm fixing to do. As you can see, that creek, or the river, is flowing big time. Some of the other campers here actually, campers come down here like for 30 years. They say they may come down and kick us out because it's steadily rising and it's supposed to rain tonight. So we'll see what happens there. That's crazy though. Of course it would start raining. Well, I guess we'll see if it rains enough they kick us out. But at least in the meantime, I got some shelter. If you can hear that, it's the downside of using cheap tarps. Lots of noise, but they do keep the rain out. I'm ready to cook some supper, but it's raining and the river's still high, and I don't know if they're gonna come kick me out, and I don't want to be in the middle of cooking supper when they kick me out. Guess it is what it is, huh? It's enjoyable having the tarp to keep me out of the rain, though. So much room for activities under here. Well, as expected, the Forest Service came by and it's time to pack up. Water's still rising. They're kicking everyone out, so I've got camp packed up other than this tarp. Try to get it folded up the best I can. Get ready to head out of here, I guess. Not what I had planned. I had literally just got my steak out, got the grill and everything, fixing to fire it up. But I guess I'll save it for another night. I kind of knew it would happen, but I camped here hoping for a shower and stuff tonight. So I may have to hit a hotel. Kind of done with the rain for now. But we'll check back in with you. Well, I ended up going to a hotel last night. Shower was nice, the bed was nice. However, about the time I went to bed, all the alarms started going off, sirens going off, dang tornado warning. I left Oklahoma to get away from those bastards. But anyways, got some sleep. That was nice. The water did keep rising last night. According to the website, it looks like it got up to like 17 feet, which is like the top 20 floods. Like 18 feet is considered a flood, major flood. 23 is the record. So that little 10 feet it was at when I left was nothing. But I stopped here, got gas. I'm gonna try to make it back up there and see how high it is. I'm sure the road's closed, so I'll probably have to walk down there, but be worth a check. But it is definitely still raining. I'm sure it's still going up. I might try to hike some waterfalls. We'll see how today pans out. I'll make a decision about noon whether I'm gonna head home or whether I'm gonna stay here another night. I got class this weekend, so I can't stay here too long, but we'll see what happens. And you can see in the ditches that the water level was up over the road. There's even barriers up on the sides of the roads telling me that this flooded. There's debris on the roads. Holy moly. The road is unsafe. The water's definitely high. Road's underwater. Well, looks like I'll find somewhere different to go. Everybody else is parking and walking down the road. I'm gonna go take a look too. I can hear it. It is rolling. Remember the last time I brought Jetta over here? Half Oklahoma was flooded. Guess it's time for a snorkel in the Jetta. Oh my gosh. This is I don't know how the ground's not flooded everywhere. Wait until you see this. You get past some trees. Wow. Oh man. This is insane. Tell me that ain't some water moving. I'm gonna walk. Oh man, look at that. I'm not gonna lie, if this bridge gives way, I'm done. It's nerve-wracking as hell. That's crazy. Oh wow, the road is literally under up here. This water is flowing heavily. Even if it's not that deep though, there may not be a road or anything underneath. That's why you don't drive into moving water. Well, needless to say, I won't be making it this way. I am really curious. I'd love to make it to Redding and just see, like fly the drone up in there and see how high the water was or is. But that may not happen. Let's go look at some maps. See if a workaround's even worth it, or if I should just say screw it and head back. It's not a failure. I still got to do most of the route. Still had a great time. But if I have to turn around, it is what it is. I mean, not every trip turns out perfect. It's part of preparing for this, you know. I wouldn't come over here without an extra couple $100 ready for a motel or ready for a flat tire or something that may come up. Just gotta plan for emergencies, you know. I didn't have to get a hotel last night, but I wanted to get out of the area, and this is why. If I would have stayed, what if that washed the road completely out and I was stuck where I was at for days? Yeah, I had everything I needed to survive, but that's unnecessary, you know? That water is just a-flowing. Right here in the middle of the road. There's waterfall. Currently just east of Wolfpen Gap. I'm gonna go to Wolfpen first, see what I can see. I know when you're camping there, there's signs on the trees that show the high water mark being like 10 feet above ground. So I'm sure it's completely under. There's water just flowing down the sides of the road everywhere. Crazy. If you camp in flash flood areas, this is why you look out. I am just off of the road at Wolfpen Gap. You can see behind me the gate's closed, but look at where the water was. Look at all these trees and all the debris. I mean, look at the gate here. The water was high enough to put debris in the gate. This is crazy. I mean, imagine camping here and waking up to that. All of this flooded. Tell me that didn't get crazy. Now, I checked a while ago. The river is going down currently. So, I don't feel too bad walking out here. But to know that all of this, well, here's an idea. These signs are wet up to here, almost my shoulder level, and it's not from rain, it's too high. That's just crazy. It just boggles my mind what it would have been like to be here when this was all flooded. I'll walk down here to the river and take a gander. Still pretty flooded. flooding stuff out here. Sometimes the best things are right off the side of the road. See there, it pushed the tree over. That's crazy. Currently, it shows the river at 17.85 feet, which is the highest it's been. But it also don't count all of this water that rushed in at some point. This was all flooded. So as it sits now, this is the top 20 of floods for this river. I'm curious to see where it peaks. I'm gonna drive down here to the gate and attempt to walk in just to see if there's anything left. I would love to be able to walk to my campsite and do a before and after picture, but I don't know if I'll ever make it that far. I just checked and it's showing 1828, so that's 13th as far as the history is on this river. Now the river itself is up, but it doesn't do justice, because here you can see where the trees and stuff are all beat up from the water, but it's obviously lower than that. Whatever flows in here must have just been flowing like crazy, because all around this lower section of campsites you can see it was just beat all the hell. But the water itself doesn't look that crazy. There's a fish. So definitely the water was up to here. And you can see all this was beat up from water flowing into here. The rocks are all loose on the ground, on the road. It's crazy. Definitely would have been a wild night staying here, for sure. Well, here's my spot. It don't look too bad. I'll say that. You can see where water rushed through here. It's all a little bent up. It's not bad. It looks like it just washed through in spots. But if you follow this trail back here, you can see that's about where the debris piles start. So water creeped up to right here, and you know, I'm just 20-30 feet from where my tent was. That's where my tent was, and there's debris piles down here that I don't remember being there. So that water may have got up to here. It really might have, because there's debris piles all the way up to here. Looks like that's maybe the farthest one. I don't know if you can see that, but right there. And then looking this way, you got some right there, right there. So I may have been floating on my air mattress. Don't regret going to a hotel. Sometimes you gotta make that call. Well, from here I'm gonna head up Morgan Mountain Road and hike a couple little overlooks, and then I'll probably head home. Well, the road is definitely more washed out today than it was. I drove up here scouting for a campsite yesterday before I got to Redding. But I think it's still going to be doable in a car all the way. I just got to kind of watch these ruts and take it easy on them. Normally this road's pretty well maintained. There is a couple of good camp spots on here. This first one that I've marked that I'll include on the route to this trip. It's one of my favorites. It's got a little bit of a view, but it is pretty rocky, so tent camping may not be the greatest. But if you got a rooftop tent or something, or if you don't mind the little rocks, or a hammock. Well, what do you know? Fly Gap Road's closed as of yesterday due to a landslide, and I can see why. The ground is all spongy up here. I was gonna drive up there and look out the overlook, but I guess that's not gonna happen. So I'm gonna go back here to Spy Rock. I'm gonna hike it, get my view. Go from there. It's getting humid. I do know that. Well, the entrance to Spy Rock is just right off the road here. And there's also a trail off to the side here. Don't know what that goes to, but you can see the signs here just off the side of the road. There is a little spot to park. There's also a little drainage runoff area there. I've parked there before in the Jeep. But let's hike it and see what the view's like. It's a short, pretty easy hike. At this point, the trail is basically a waterfall or a river itself. Been down here before, and there's hikers camping at the end of it. Guess it would be a neat little hammock spot. I don't know if you can hear those birds. They are happy. I'm happy I got my boots that supposedly are waterproof. I was hoping Fly Gap would be open because it's an easy lookout right off the side of the road. But I guess putting pictures in the video is the best I can do. Well, it's starting to rain, and I think it's time for me to head home. If you're interested in taking a trip like this, check the description. I'll put a link to my track as well as the waypoints for this. I'm going to put my original route that I had planned in there instead of what actually happened because of the rain. But come check it out. This was a lot of fun. As you can see, did it in the car. There's still tons of roads here you can do in a car, so come hit up some of these points, do a little hiking, bring your family, and enjoy the Ozarks. While you're over here, find some other roads, try them out as well. But I'm gonna drive home. I've got class this weekend, so I'm gonna end the video here. Thanks for taking the time to watch another one of my videos. It really keeps me going when I see people watching and subscribing. But stay tuned for the next trip. I'll see you then.